前がレクイエム。
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and yes, we talking about Sword Art Online today, and the topic of this video is Sword Art Online that bad. Now, let me be completely transparent with you for the first couple minutes of this video. I have only watched the following seasons. I've watched the entire season of original Sword Art Online. I've actually watched all of the fairy part, so the original Sword Art Online plays. I'm blanking on name right now. I've watched, and I've seen Gun Gale Online. I've seen all of that, and I've seen I don't think it's the current season. The season with Alice and Kirito waking up with no memory. I honestly am blanking on all the names right now, but I've seen all of those seasons. So I've seen all of that. I've watched all of it, and I want to really talk about it because it's a highly debated topic. Sword Art Online really as bad as people claim, and people really do claim it's one of the worst animes ever to exist. And I can kind of see both sides, so we'll get into it. Now, Sword Art Online is oftenly abbreviated as SAO. It's an anime that's garnered many fans and has a fair share of criticism. You know what I'm saying? People really despise this anime at times. It tells the story of Kirito. He's basically your main character, Chad, who is OP at everything he does. And he dives into a virtual reality MMO called Sword Art Online. So, let's talk about why this series gets so much hate. Alright, first thing, we want to talk about some of the positives. Let's be honest, we want to talk about some of the positives. And I think the animation for Sword Art Online is actually pretty good. At least from what I've seen, I really had no problem with the animation. I don't know whether they budgeted it or whatever. It looks pretty good to me. I like the worlds, I like the locales. That's something that's not really been an issue with me, and that's a very big part of my love for anime. Your locations gotta be good, bro. They straight up gotta be good. You can't have trash locations. Cause then at that point, what's really the point? You know what I'm saying? Don't be giving me the anime. Y'all just read the manga. It's definitely visually appealing though. It's a lot of different design choices and stuff that I feel like was really good. Another cool aspect about SAO is that when it came out, to me it was obviously there's hack. Don't get me wrong from what I'm about to say, but there's hack and .gu and all that stuff, and I never really got to watch those from back in the past. I was really young when they came out and stuff. Well, not really young, but we ain't gonna do that. The cool thing about being trapped though in a video game is that as a gamer myself, I can understand a lot of the terminology and a lot of the feelings that they were trying to convey with gaming and stuff in the very beginning of the series. You know what I'm saying? The ideal of an actual, what they call the full dive MMO where you actually put your whole body into a game sounds kind of appealing. Now because Sword Art Online came out, it doesn't really sound that appealing, but if you're being honest, if you would have come to me as a gamer and say, hey, try out this new experimental technology, I would more than likely go down for it, you know what I'm saying? Because being a person that plays a lot of video games is you start to experience a lot of really good ones, and those good ones can actually transform you into something that you don't recognize. Now, however, it's also important to, alongside the positive, address the negative and the criticisms. A common complaint, basically revolves around the pacing. A lot of the pacing issues that you might see. If you read the light novels, manga, whatever, you'll notice that certain characters are missing. Certain plot details aren't really told right. The story feels a little rushed if you watch read the light novel. Particularly in the later seasons, I think the original Sword Art Online was pretty solid. But a lot of the later season stuff just kind of got cut out. And it basically led to character arcs not being as fulfilling as it was or it was meant to be. And that's any anime. When you have a lot of source material, sometimes stuff gets cut out. Sometimes you don't get to see everything. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. And it's crucial to know that opinions are opinions, yo. Because at the end of the day, it's what you may not like, another person may love. It's really just based on your individual viewing experiences. And I'm not gonna lie, for me personally, I feel like my issue with Sword Art Online is not with SAO itself. It's more with the harem anime as a whole. I'm not a fan of harem anime. I feel like back then, we got isekai now, and isekai is the big thing where it's I swear it seems 30 new isekai animes coming out every month or something, every anime season. And that's not really the issue. It's kind of a little bit of the issue, but harem anime in general. When I used to watch a lot of harem anime back in the day, I can remember maybe a couple off the top of my head, but I used to watch a lot of harem anime back in the day, when they were really prevalent. I feel like a lot of anime at that time had harem in it, And harem is basically like when you got like one character and it's a lot of other characters that may like that character, but you know, they either never really lock it down, or it's just like a mass group of people that just like this one guy or one girl. And that's what Sword Art Online turned out to be for me. Now, obviously, this is a little bit different because he actually shows that he dates Asuna or whatever, you know, and they keep it just enough for them not to be in a romance anime. And just, I hate like all the different characters falling in love with the one guy. For some reason, that really irritates me in anime. I feel like you can have healthy relationships and one dude just is not capturing the hearts of like every female that comes through the show or comes through the anime. I feel like that in itself is just a little bit backwards. Considering that, yes, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that does happen. Like, you know, more than one girl could like a dude or a person or whatever. But I just hate it because it's like, I've seen it so much in all these different animes, like the same thing in every anime. And it sucks because it's like, yes, at least Isekai has like difference in where you go and what you can reincarnate it as. There might be slight difference, but it's this difference. With harem genre, bro, I already know what to expect, and I just want to get rid of it at that point. That was my own personal bias against this particular anime. Like I said, I actually do like the anime. I think it's a really good one, but I feel like they should have went the route of just specifically sticking to just the one Asuna. You know, they're not saying that as many seasons as it is, there wasn't going to be another girl to fall in love with him, but it seems like they're all kind of like, I don't know. And I feel like that was really mainly like the part 2 of SAO. And SAO for me, the fairy tale arc, as I like to call it, with the fairies and stuff like that, that was honestly a very poorly designed arc for me. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was falling around with his sister and stuff, and it was a lot of kind of weird gestures and stuff that was there. And I just feel like that didn't really need to even happen. The anime in itself, though, is fun to me. Like, I really loved that last season. Well, honestly, that wraps up my whole discussion. I really do like that last season. With Alice and, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. I honestly think Sword Art Online works a lot better with a secondary male protagonist. One that's not really interested in Kirito like that, like one that's just really just kind of like his friend or whatever. It works better that way, in my opinion. I'm not saying that the whole anime is bad, and I honestly would tell you right now, I don't think it's as bad as everybody claims. I think there's a weak part of it, like there is in My Hero, but it's still overall a good show. Like, the beauty of the anime relies on the diversity, you know, like so many different seasons, so many different games that they're jumping into, and it might not resonate you like specific one. I really like the Gun Gale Online one. Like, I really like that Gun Gale season. I really do. Like, it's guns and lightsabers. Like, who's not gonna like that? Let's be honest. That being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.
やれやれだぜ。